Hey everybody, how you doing? It is March 16th, 2020, and I'm not driving to work today because I'm working from home because of the coronavirus. But I am driving. I'm actually going to the store, so I thought it would be a good time to do my post for the day and to talk about the subject for today, which is panic is not a strategy. All right? So let's get going. So just to set the stage for this, historically, if this is viewed, a year from now or something like that, the world basically, or not the world, the U.S. basically changed over the weekend. As of Friday, with the exception of, hoarding in grocery stores and, buying out of toilet paper, which I mentioned on my last post, all the other foods on Friday were laid out, everything. The only thing that was sold out was toilet paper, okay? And I mentioned that is a very interesting psychological case study, which we'll have to visit at some other time on this channel, as we constantly examine crowd behavior and the various psychologies behind it, but that'll be for another time. But so again, in the context of this post is that Friday I went to the office, I went to work. I'm not going to say it was a normal day, but it was a relatively normal day. Market was extremely volatile. But over the weekend, the president declared a state of emergency over this corona thing, and schools announced, everybody announced they're shutting down. The schools in our area here shut down. All the teachers are having to teach remotely, and the parents are having to pick up the slack with homeschooling, which they're all thrilled about. And companies are suggesting that their employees work from home. Everyone is recommended to avoid large gatherings. We were supposed to go to a concert over the weekend. It was canceled. So over the weekend, everything changed. Okay, so now I'm working from home, and I'm coming to you now, not driving to work. I'm going to the store. So anyway, all right, so the subject of the video, panic is not a strategy. This hopefully would relate to your personal life, your business life, your entire life. I expressed previously that even though this seems crazy now, and it seems like we're being subjected to things that we have never been subjected to before, this too shall pass, okay? This is something that will have a life to it. It will hit a peak, it will flatten out, and it will come down. And while nobody knows the exact duration of it, I'm feeling now in a few months, maybe 90 days, we'll be through this thing, and there will be short-term economic impacts. Certain industries like the airlines, hospitality, ski areas, all my ski areas shut down. So it looks like my ski season is prematurely over, which I'm not happy about. But I believe in 3 months from now we'll be through this thing, and the market's going to be a lot higher. Might go through a mild recession. This quarter, this coming second quarter is going to look very ugly for business. And you can imagine which industries are going to be the most affected. But as it relates to you personally, as it relates to me personally, you can't panic, all right? You have to keep a cool head. You have to look at things objectively. You have to look at things for what they are. All of these restrictions in the U.S., all of these things that we're being subjected to, staying home from work, avoiding crowds, movie theaters being closed, all this stuff, is not because we have an epidemic of sick people walking around. It's to prevent it getting to that point, okay? It's all prevention. So I'm not making light of it. It's still a very serious thing, but it's for prevention. It's not because 90% of the people are coming down with this thing. It's still an extremely small percentage. It's going to build up because people use poor judgment or they don't even know they have it. They don't even know they're contagious with it. But as you look at your business life, as you look at the markets, as you look at what's really going on out there, panic is not a strategy. When you're panicking, you're going to do stupid things like sell your stocks, okay? You're going to do stupid things like, worry needlessly. You're going to, be distrustful of your fellow human beings and view every time someone coughs as, an effrontery to you personally as a human being. And I think that, we can't let this thing get out of hand psychologically. That's the key. I think the government is doing the right things, taking the right steps. And I think it's going to prevent a really big outbreak from happening. So you have to always keep that in your mind. As it relates to opportunities, again, I look at the market and I look at past calamities, and every time it's different. 9/11 was different than the financial crash in 2008. This is different than 2008. This is different than the 87 stock crash. The causes are always different, and the perception and the psychologies are always different. But the end result is always the same. We're going to get through this, and 90 days from now, I predict, and I could be wrong, but this is my best guess, the market's going to be a lot higher. Now, just from a analytical standpoint, just to put my 2 cents in, this is very different than 2008, completely different. Okay, in 2008, you had a liquidity crisis and a banking crisis with the major financial institutions, owing to credit default swaps and a lot of bad mortgages out there to subprime people that couldn't afford to pay their mortgages back. This situation couldn't be more different than that. The bank's balance sheets are in the best condition like ever in history. This is U.S. banks, not foreign banks. Europe is a whole nother story. We won't even talk about that because it's getting too into economics. But the U.S. banks have never been stronger. The balance sheets are strong. The financial sector in this country is extremely strong. So this is a temporary event brought about by a virus that isn't even as virulent as the flu. It is highly contagious, so more people are going to get it, no doubt. But it's going to blow over, guys. okay? And so just keep perspective. Don't panic. And for God's sakes, I mean, I have these fights with my wife. Don't hoard food. Don't hoard things. Just let the normal course of events happen. Let the deliveries come. Don't look at the supermarkets on Sunday and say, "Oh my God, the world's ending. There's no toilet paper and they're out of meat." You know, stores are, in case you haven't noticed, stores are always low on supplies on Sunday. They get their deliveries on Monday. Everything goes back to normal. If people just don't hoard things, we're going to be fine. So anyway, I hope this gives some of you some comfort. I'm by no means a Pollyanna. I can get down and dirty with the negative prognostications as well as anybody. But in this case, you know, I really think we have to keep everything in perspective and map out your strategy. I mean, be calm, analyze, and you know, if you have some cash, you should be looking at opportunities, right? Look, the market's down 30% from the peak. Okay, we're still up. Call the Dow 21,000. It might be 20,700, wherever it is now. Call it 21,000. It's still close to 4,000 points higher than when Trump took office. Okay, so your 401ks are going to take a temporary hit, but things are going to come back, and you're going to be glad you stayed in the market. I don't know, a couple things that come to my head. Again, I'm not giving investment advice, but just the things that I think about. I've been looking for an opportunity to buy Amazon for a long time. Amazon's taken some big hits. It's down to where it was several years ago. Amazon's not going away, guys. Amazon's not going away. Okay? Jeff Bezos is not hanging it up. He's still going to be a monstrous competitor. And so that's one thing that comes to mind. Another thing is Apple. Apple's down sharply. That's another one to look at in terms of individual stocks. And I look at the QQQ, okay, which is an ETF, which basically, you know, is basically the NASDAQ. And it's all the large technology stocks. So that's something that's going to be on the way back up, is going to be highly leveraged. Or you could be conservative, just buy the S&P Spider, you know. That's the, you know, the broad market index, tracks the broad market index, the S&P 500. You know, most people that aren't really knowledgeable about these things, you're probably better off just buying an index. You know, and the best time to buy is, of course, when you get that horrible feeling in your stomach like the world's going to end, and you think that the worst thing to possibly do at that moment is to buy stocks or an index related to stocks. That's actually, in retrospect, the best time to buy. All right, so again, make your own decisions. Don't listen to me. Timing the market is very difficult, but you know, if you have some cash and you're entrepreneurial, you should definitely be looking at that right now. Okay? Just one more word before I take off. Affiliate marketing should be great now, because people are, you know, in the times of uncertainty, they're always looking for ways to make money at home. So that make money at home niche should be very active right now. And also, since people are working more from their home, they're probably on their computers more, on their cell phones. looking at affiliate offers and different ways to start businesses online, etc., etc. So timing should be good on something like that. Don't give up on your dreams in that regard, and keep pushing forward. And guys, take care. I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully. I'll either be driving into work, or I'll be driving to the store, out and about, or whatever, and I'll try to put out another post and keep you updated as things change. Okay? So take care. Have a great day. And stay positive. All right? Take care.